Ayo, tits.
Hey, I'm Areolas. Ooh.
We're doing the return of the Living Dead. What was your first exposure to this movie?
I think I've seen it before. I'm pretty sure I have at least once. Don't really recall. It might have been too scary when I first saw it, but I have seen it and I rewatched it. What about you? What was your first exposure to it?
Someone wanted me to watch this first year of my movie reviews, and so I did. And that was the first time I had ever watched it. So it was fun. Fun time.
No, well, it starts out. Well, this is like technically a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, kind of spin-off. No, it's kind of like in the same universe because they consider that like a movie or something within it.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds about right.
yeah. So they're just there's a medical supply company and they accidentally got these toxin called trioxin. That's a toxic gas, and they're all proud of it. They're like, "This is government material." We don't
It's
want to.
amazing.
They know that it's worth a lot, but they don't know like what it is and what to do with it. And
They
so the
decide to
Mhm.
experiment on some corpses. And they're like, oh, yeah, the logical thing to do is if we have a mysterious substance, let's experiment on corpses instead of, maybe live rats first? Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah, they just want to. I don't know. Try. I guess like hit for the bullseye first. You know what I mean? Like just immediately. Hey, let's just try to bring the dead back to life or see what this does.
Of course, always. And I mean always unintended consequences. You got the guy, and the guy's like, oh, that's cute. There's a dead guy. He's walking. Adorable. And then it's all nice until the dead guy's trying to attack the live guys. And then is it like when they bite someone living, they turn into a zombie? Or do they have to be infected with the chemical?
I think it's either or because at first when the chemical gets whenever they go to the cans and they're messing with them and they're old drums, so they just bang them a little and the gas starts coming out and the two dudes get infected by it, by the gas, and then
Yeah.
the dead dude gets infected by it, gets brought back to life, and all like the half animals that are there cut in half are all being brought back to life. So it's all like everybody just get infected in the with all this you know gas, this toxic gas. And they're like, oh, let's shoot it in the let's sever its brain because that's how it is in the movies, and they do that and nothing happens.
It doesn't work. Like they're trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to reverse what we started? And they do a lot of things. They try to do split the body apart, and each of the parts just work on its own. Brain, nope. They're like, oh wow, well we screwed up. I think what we should do is we should accidentally, I think it was on purpose, release the gas into the air.
Yeah, they go to the mortuary because they call their boss because they don't know what to do and they're tripping out, and they go to the next door mortuary and tell the guy, hey, you're gonna owe me. I'm gonna owe you a big favor, but you think you could burn this body that all the parts are like alive, and that gas gets thrown up into the air and creates sort of you
More
know
of them. It goes
it
into
create
the rain,
hmm
and then you got a bunch of those teenagers just dancing in the middle of a graveyard. Have you ever felt the need to dance naked in the middle of a graveyard at night?
I just want to party. I not naked. I wouldn't say
well,
at least not
you
naked.
but you've been to a graveyard at night.
I have gone
Okay.
to graveyards at night, not in the rain, and not like wanting to party or get naked like that. So I'll say
Well,
that I was never compelled.
these individuals, they're dancing in the rain. The rain has a chemical that then seeps through the graveyard soil, and then
Mhm.
a bunch of reanimated corpses just start coming out. And there's this one particular one that was pretty nasty. And I think the practical effects in this are pretty disgusting, which is a good job to them.
Oh yeah.
Uh, the the one in the barrel is just really gross and slimy, and I was like, ugh.
I remember there's the line where that naked chick before she dies, she's like, the worst way to die would be to be surrounded by a bunch of dudes and get eaten alive or something. And that's exactly like how she
Yeah.
died. And butt naked.
It is funny how that happened.
And she was
So it's like,
butt
okay,
naked.
she was.
Yeah.
Her ass was out.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
gee.
So I'm like, how are they going to figure this out? How are they going to stop this? Oh, they couldn't contain the spread of this lovely gas that they wanted to use so badly that they couldn't contain themselves, and they just had to spread it all over. And now everybody, there's like hordes and hordes of zombies down the road, and you get these teenagers just running down the road. That was a fun shot. Just a bunch
Yeah,
of zombies.
you have whoever's left kind of split up between the mortuary and the chemical storage facility, and they keep calling the paramedics. And every time the first time the paramedics come, they just get eaten, or 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 not. I'm take that back. They got there, and they basically told them, "Hey, these two guys that are like sick, they're not alive. These dudes that had held that shit. We need to get them to the hospital." And they get eaten very easily by those hordes and waves of zombies.
Oh yeah. What's really funny is they find a place to hang out at, and it's like, oh cool, we got a place to hang out at. We got to call the police. And I really like the ending because it's like it's kind of doom and gloomy. So they're calling the police, and the police are like, "All right, we're dealing with stuff." And then the police contact the people above them. They're like, "Yo, we got this zombie outbreak going on." And I don't remember like how high of a position, but they're pretty high position. Where they're like, "All right, just bomb this place." And so everybody that we saw on screen, because the friends slowly turned into zombies. Anyone who was surviving is now dead.
And everybody's just dying to like punk rock music this whole time. Like it's a very punk rock music aesthetic to this whole thing, and then there's comedy to it. There's a little bit of
Yeah.
a slapstick, so it's not full horror. It's supposed to be funny. uh
And the funniest part is that after they bomb that city, the acid rain returns, and it's like, oh, well, you didn't finish your problem solving skills. You kind of just put a band-aid on the issue.
yeah, they just kept making the problem worse and worse by trying to solve it
Yeah.
the way they did. And yeah, that's like how you said how it ends. You just repeats the cycle, and these characters that you go through the whole like movie with end up just like dying, like in a
That,
realistic death. Yeah.
that's what I expect the government to do. Just nuke the place.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the easiest, most efficient way. Like I don't blame them. to to take care of the problem, especially if they knew exactly like what it was whenever they were called, and they're like, "Oh shit, now we know what this is. We know how to handle it. Nuke it."
What would you rate this?
This rewatching it, probably like a 8. It was a solid watch. It was fun. Um, yeah, no, I really liked it. It was in the punk rock music, the comedy. It was great to rewatch it. What about you?
I enjoyed it. Um, I really like how depressing it is at the end. It's so depressing. It's great. I think for that reason alone, it gets like a 7.2 for me.
And just you eating brains to stop the feeling of whatever the cold or whatever goes through their bodies.
What do they feel when they eat people?
They
Do
just
they
don't
feel
feel the
anything?
pain. They feel something. It's the because whenever they were questioning that one like zombie, it was like, we need to eat brains to feel something, otherwise we just feel dead, and it's a nasty feeling.
Hmm. Is there a way for them to not want to eat people and just let themselves die? Are they
It,
self-aware enough for that?
in this movie, no. I think further on in like the I want to say the third one, because I watched up to the third one. It kind of tiptoes on that idea, but not enough to where they have any sort of past recollections of themselves. Because I know in this one, whenever that girl was like, "I'm gonna stay with my boyfriend till the end," and then he's like, "I really want your brains," or whatever the fuck, and that would be great.
Well, that your dedication's being tested there, woman.
Your brains are sexy. I want to eat them.
Exactly.
We got a little game here, zombies. I call it zombies. I'm going to show you some pictures of different zombies, and you're going to guess where the zombie's from or what the zombie is. Let's
All
take
right.
a look. Do you know this zombie, where he's from, or
Where the zombies from?
yeah?
Paper Crochet Island.
Almost, almost. You're getting warm. It's cold. As cold as you are, you're getting warm.
What is this from a video game?
Yes,
Oh, Resident Evil, one of them.
exactly. Resident Evil, one of them. No, this is from the first. This is from the first Resident Evil. So you got it. Resident Evil 1. You said it
Okay.
technically. You said it.
No, cool.
This is the first zombie you encounter in Resident Evil, the first game. Let's see here. Do you know what this infect? I guess he's infected. What movie this is from?
Oh my god, what movie is that from? Uh, World War Z?
Yep, you're right.
Okay. I was like, what fucking scene is there a zombie just standing there without it eating the person's brains? And it's like, oh, it's World War Z because he's behind a glass.
And you could see
And they had labs there.
Brad Pitt's beautiful hair right here in the shot.
I forgot he was in the movie.
It's Brad Pitt. It's just Brad Pitt, and anyone else is disposable.
Yeah.
Do you know who this zombie is? This cool cat.
Hey, that's black and white. Is it from the first Night of the Living Dead movie?
This is the very first zombie that they encounter in Night of the Living Dead.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know his name. He's probably got a name, but
Bob.
or Gus. He looks like a Gus. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. It does look like one.
When they say they're coming to get you, Barbara, and then he fucking beats him to death or whatever. Do you know these zombies? What game this is from?
What the fuck game is this? This seems to be on a console from the late 90s.
You're
Uh,
correct.
my guess is PS2.
No, you can guess earlier.
Oh, earlier.
Hmm.
Oh, PS2 is like
A little
mid
later.
2000s.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh god. Oh god. This is on the first PlayStation?
even earlier.
What the fuck? The what's before that? The Saturn Genesis, the Dreamcast, the
The
GameCube.
even earlier. Well,
Yeah.
okay, now you're just saying names of consoles.
Yeah. Uh,
This is the Super Nintendo.
oh, this is what the Super Nintendo. Actually, this looks really good.
The
Wow.
16, I think 16-bit. No, 16 or 32. I think 16. This is from a game called Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Oh, what happened to the zombies? Did they
Uh,
eat your neighbors?
they did, and you have to go through like all the different horror icons, like Chucky dolls and Frankenstein's and all that. But the zombies are your like, you know, most like the one you see the most. The
Okay.
You know what I mean? The low
Yeah, that
level
makes sense.
threat. So that's Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Number 5. What is this heartthrob from? Have you seen this movie or read this book? It's actually a book.
It's a book, Zombieland?
I forgot about Zombieland. I didn't put Zombieland on here. No, this is a
I
zombie.
Zombie?
No,
Um, a zombie movie based off of a book.
and it's
Oh, fuck.
a romantic zombie flick.
Zombie human romance?
How would you acronym that? ZHR? No. This is
This is wait, hold on. This isn't Twilight. Is this Cursed?
no.
Wait, that's
This
Werewolf.
I think this is supposed to be like a Twilight ripoff though, but for zombies.
What the fuck could it possibly be?
I don't think you're gonna get. You got it's called Warm Bodies.
Actually, I've heard of that show. I've just never seen it before.
Have you?
Yeah.
It's very niche. I'll say that. Because it's I don't know. It tries to be like Twilight, and it
It
didn't work
it
out.
it's weird. I mean, with Twilight, you can like think, oh, you got the vampires. They got a hold of the humans, and you got I don't know a guy, and he's a big, strong man. Wow, he's so big, strong man. And then you find out that he turns into a wolf once every full moon, and it's like I guess it's more believable than, oh, let me date this zombie who's decaying and wants to constantly eat my brain.
It gets even more weirder because I think at the end when he like tests his love with her, he is able to like unbecome a zombie. Like his heart
What?
warms up.
His heart warms up and heats up the blood and removes any brain death that he might have had, any brain damage that he might have had from losing oxygen to the brain for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Uh, Permanent brain damage. Uh,
Yeah. You just gotta throw your logic out the door with this one. It didn't hit
okay.
it didn't hit very well. Who's this next zombie? Let me see. Oh yeah, who do we know who this next zombie is?
Wait, you pulled out Michael Jackson from the grave?
Right before he starts dancing, he turns into a zombie and he starts dancing.
Is this from Thriller?
This is from
Okay.
Thriller. Yeah, he's a pretty cool looking zombie. I don't know why it shows him dancing as a zombie and then he turns back into a regular person. So it's kind of weird, but
What's
whatever.
the plot of Thriller?
There's really no plot. First he's watching a movie with his girlfriend, and then he takes her dancing by the graveyard, which, like I said, it's way more common than you believe. Dancing in the graveyard, I guess, and and the zombies come up. He dances with them. They trap her. It was all a nightmare, but then he ends up being like a ghoul at the end. So it's like an M. Night Shyamalan twist.
That's so weird.
I've never had to describe the plot of Thriller, so when like you threw that at me, I was like, yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but
I mean, I've maybe seen the video a couple of times, but it's so what is the word? Referenced in culture.
mhm.
And it's like, man, is this really that cool of a video to be referenced in culture this heavily?
I would argue yes. I've seen it a million times, and that's like
Okay,
even outside of Halloween, just I'll put on
it's
a
true.
10-12 minute long video. It was one of the first music videos to be like a film, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so a short film. So it does have its legacy, besides just being like a zombie a film.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. What do we have here? I think this is the last one. Oh, I can't get a good picture of this. Who
Is
was
this
this?
Shaun of the Dead?
No, no, it's a more serious movie,
A more serious movie?
a more serious, and these are infected people. They're infected with a particular virus. They're not zombies.
28 days later?
Hmm.
28 weeks later? One of those two.
The rage virus.
Yeah.
Yeah, very weird. All I remember is that scene where the crow is like biting at blood and it falls into that one dude's eye.
Oof.
And I'm
Oof.
like, I know it's gross. I think of that. Have you ever been like out in the rain and you get rainwater in your eye and you're like,
Yeah.
ah, ah? You
It is
feel like
weird. It's like, oh, what's this? I hope this isn't acid rain.
if it's not that toxic rain that the zombies
Yeah.
fucking deal with. But I know there's wherever people want to get wet, trying to find your content. Where the fuck is that overlay? There it is. Where can they find you?
I do daily movie reviews every day at 7 p.m. ET at youtube.com/ASC Presents. Support the daily grind. Go to my Patreon. And also go to autisticboobs.com. Support the daily grindiness. Autisticboobs.com has all of my link trees. And it has all my links in my link tree
Hell yeah.
at autisticboobs.com.
Hell yeah, autisticboobs.com. Autisticboobs.com. And you can find me, That's All Funny, podcast, anywhere podcasts available. Just search That's All Funny. Do a podcast with my buddy Gabe called That's All Kayfabe. Talk about wrestling. You can find that anywhere podcasts are available. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Lorenzo Arreola. The YouTube channel you're watching this on, youtube.com/@Lorenzo Arreola. I want to thank the wonderful Mint Salad for being here. Go and enjoy her brains and everything else in between when you go check out her content. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.